Hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to Larry's Review. Um, so if you guys had got my post on Facebook, I also said I was going to be making a follow-up video about For Honor, and so what what I do is basically after I'm done finishing playing a game, I always put into my reviews, and I talk about it to tell you what I like about it, what I didn't like about it, and what they could, what I think they could improve on, or that what they were good with, and etc. So so For Honor, hold on. I know I put the case here somewhere. So, For Honor, Marching Fire was actually a really good game. Not gonna lie, it had a basic, really good. It had a very basic, really good storyline. Um, and the narrator was basically Apollyon in the beginning of the story. But then when we started getting into chapters, there was different other narrators of the story, like Warden, um, the Viking guy, and the Orochi. The Viking guy he's not the guy with the wolf on his head. He's the other guy. I keep on forgetting his name. He's someone. um, so yeah. Um, so I liked the what I really liked was basically they had really good music in it, really good soundtrack in it. I think one of the songs was from Two Steps from Hell. I think I'm not really sure. Um, and also the graphics and the maps and everything was really great too. The art style, the custom the environment of the maps with the craters of lava pits and cesspools and other stuff was amazing too. Um, they also did really good with the wildlife a little bit. They put some wildlife in there, but they didn't really put a lot in there, which was actually a little bit was a bit little upsetting because when I see games like this, I am really expected to see some forms of wildlife, but there was not even a lot of any wildlife around. Um, I mean there was a couple of deers, but that was just it. So yeah. Um, um, so my favorite character in this whole entire game was without a doubt Warden. She was actually basically amazing. I loved her story. She started as like a normal knight, a in a blue. I think she was like a Blue Iron Legion. No, not Blue Iron Legion. She was something else. She was like a Blue Knight at the time, and then we then she got promoted to then she got um and then she got lifted to the ranks of the she got into the ranks of the Blackstone Legion. Um, not gonna lie, uh, at first it was good, but then until I figured out that the Blackstones were actually the bad guys, I was like, oh shit. um, reason why I say the bad guys because they didn't give anyone any mercy, and now even the Vikings. I mean, they chop off their heads. They kept on chopping off their heads. I'm like, what the heck, man? Leave them live. Come on, just put them in a cage or something. Why you keep on chopping out their heads? If you want to fight them, let them. If you want to kill them, just let them fight for their lives. But nope, they're going to tie them up and cut off their heads, which is dumb. I really, I mean, that's actually a little bit painful for me to see because technically my ancestors were actually Vikings, so it was kind of little bit, um, a little bit hurtful to see, but that actually did happen back in the old days, so can't really say anything about it. So, but it was actually a really good game. So I don't really care about Vikings getting their heads chopped off and stuff. So yeah. Um, so in the middle of Warden's story, when she figured out she was fighting for the bad guys, she grabbed her locket. Um, I think it was a locket. Uh, all I know is some kind of necklace thing that had her Warden symbol. She grabbed it and then she flew it away, and she said, I know, I had a vow to help my legion, but I had to break my vow because I was working for the bad guys, and a warden's supposed to, fight with honor, and apparently, fighting for Apollyon was not honorable, which I definitely agree because Apollyon, she's basically the major and antagonist in this story because all she wanted to do is basically rage the world at war, and you know try to make the weak perish, like many evil dictators in the past. In the past, um, if you guys know what I'm talking about, um, there was something like that in World War II. There was something like that in the other wars and stuff. People just trying to rage to trying to destroy all the weak from the strongest. Terrible. So yeah. Then and then after that she started to rebel against the Blackstones, which I was so amazed to see. I was so grateful to see that because um when I saw in the beginning of the story in the first chapter when I saw the warden throwing away her locket, I totally thought she was never going to be seen again, or she was just just gonna that was just gonna end as like a cliffhanger. But I'm glad it didn't, and she became part of the Iron Legion, and they began to become then they began to be a became the good guys and started fighting the Blackstones, which is good. Then but then there's like chapter 2, the Vikings. I really like doing the Viking story because you get to ride horses, and then you also get to know their customs and stuff and other stuff, which was actually very amazing. I I really love to see things like that. Um, and they actually literally got some parts of the Vikings perfect because back in the old times, the Vikings actually never wore horn helmets, and they didn't really had horn helmets in this game, so they were actually very close of the Vikings appearance. So yeah, I'll give the creators of this game props for that, and but some of them did have horn helmets, but I didn't really care about it because the game was so good and the storyline was great. So yeah. Then then when we get to the story of the samurai, the story of the samurai was okay, but they didn't really like it as much. I mean, yeah, she was a prisoner at one point, and then since she was free to help her people, which I mean, I don't really mind. It was actually really it was actually a really good story on her part. Um, but that elephant, man, that elephant wouldn't even listen to me for shit. I mean, I'm like, come here, elephant. Come here, elephant. Who's a good elephant? Who's a good elephant? No, no, no. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. God. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was actually my most ragey time in the game, trying to get the elephant do what I wanted to do. So yeah. Um. So but my major pet peeve was basically the big guys that's on the enemy side, because they're actually very hard to fight. Even though you're on easy mode, still they're still hard to fight. I mean, um, and which is funny. Basically, um, in the game, when you can't fight at all in small corners, because if you do, your sword gets stuck on the sides for some reason because they're too big and stuff, and it's just make it much harder to fight. And then but what I really didn't really like about the game was basically the stamina gauge in this one, because the stamina the stamina gauge were is a little bit too slow, if you get my drift. Um, Reason why I say it's a little bit too slow, because the stamina gauge keep on going out very quickly, and that's what literally made me maybe a little bit aggravated, is because of stamina gauge. I mean, don't get me wrong. Many games are like that, including Evil Within. Evil Within is like that too, but it's just frustrating when you're trying to fight someone and then your stamina's just going bye bye and stuff, and then you just gotta get out of there. You can't even roll if you don't have stamina, which makes it much difficult. In some games, you can still roll; it's just gonna roll very slowly, but still, but still, that was all right. But it just didn't really. Ugh. But then there's the health generation thing, which I really liked. I mean, that was actually a really nice touch. All you had to do is press a button to heal yourself. But um, but um, but what is funny is when when you get attacked by falling debris or something, you get damaged, but your the AI doesn't really get damaged, which I don't really understand as much, is because why wouldn't it hurt the AI if it hurts me a lot? Why can't it hurt the AI too? Because when I was fighting Apollyon, there was like a bunch of bricks coming down, and it hit me, and I got damaged. But when it hit Apollyon, she didn't even get damaged. I'm like, how in the heck? That doesn't even make sense. And no, not long, it's not even making it fair. I mean, I'm like, what the heck? So then and then there was also other stuff, and but that's not important. So yeah. Um so if so the starting of the samurai story was good too. You just started from the village, and then you started to fight around the regions and stuff. Um but my favorite story of this my favorite chapter of the story is basically the warden story. Because like I said, my favorite character in this whole entire game is Warden. She's amazing. She's my favorite because she's more, I don't know, like more wiser and much more friendlier than anyone else. Kind of um kind of ironic since she is a warrior, but still she's pretty friendly when you get to know her, which makes it much great. makes it much more fun to play as her. And yeah, and I really love it when you get to like customize the helmets too, which is amazing. Um, but I really loved her original helmet that has the crosses on the sides. That was actually amazing. I mean that design was amazing. I loved it. And yeah. Then there's also some parts you could do like jump on your enemy and stab them from the high places, which was good. Um, so and I was wondering when I first played this game, I was wondering if I could ever like ride a horse, and I did rode a horse when we did the Viking story, so I could check that off on my bucket list. So I'm happy about that. That was good, and we also rode on ships heading towards the samurai side, but too bad I wasn't on a ship while during the gameplay. It was just during the cutscene, but still it was great. So I have no complaints about that. So yeah. So if I had to give this game a rating, I'll give this game at least a 7 out of 10 at least. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a really good game. It has a really good story behind it, but with the gameplay, with some parts of the gameplay and with some parts of the story, didn't really cope with me. So I had to give it a 7 out of 10. Um, so yeah. I know some of you guys won't agree with me, but that's just my opinion. All of this is basically all my opinion. If you guys have your own opinions about it, just feel free to comment down there below, and please be nice about it. So yeah. Um, this is my review of this game. If you like this video, please put a like. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment down there below. And if you want to see more of my videos in the future, please subscribe. This is Larry, and I'm out.